What's up, YouTube? All right, real brief. I'm going to talk about 45 ACP as it pertains to mostly home defense, but just in general the round itself. But again, this is mostly pertaining to home defense. So 45 ACP cartridge, it's my opinion one of the best cartridges ever made. It's my personal favorite. If it's not yours, that's cool. Everybody's got an opinion. I have nothing against 9mm. I have nothing against 40 caliber or any of those other calibers that are out there, even 22 long rifle. Whatever you can effectively use to defend yourself and your family and your property. If you're good at using that cartridge, that rifle, that shotgun, that pistol to defend your family, your home, your life, your own life, your dog's life, and then good on you, no matter what it is. Everybody's got their choices, their own personal preferences. I just like 45 the best when it comes to sidearms, pistol caliber. Let me talk about the differences of the calibers that are probably the two most common. One is the typical 45 ball round, which in the military sense is just what they issue. It's a fully jacketed fully jacketed ball round, and as you see here, the jacketing is like a copper jacketing or whatever, but it's a 230 grain bullet, and you got a subsonic caliber round here traveling. This one here, I think it's Fiocchi, traveling just under 1,000 feet, so it's like 900. This one is like 960 feet per second, subsonic. So for the military type guys, SWAT teams, people who use suppressors like Navy SEALs, Green Berets, Delta Force, Force Recon, MARSOC, stuff like that, SAS guys, the 45 is, in my opinion, again, the best military cartridge that you can use for a sidearm when you have a diversity of missions, because you're getting less than a subsonic or less than a supersonic crack. You're not going to get that sound barrier sound, that crack. When that bullet breaks the sound barrier, even if you have a suppressor, it defeats the purpose of having suppressor if you have a supersonic round, because that bullet's still breaking the sound barrier, and you could still hear that supersonic crack, so you're not suppressed. But when you're subsonic, under 1,000 feet per second, you're gonna be able to have the effect that you want, which is a muffled shot, which it doesn't sound like a gun was fired. And that's what you want. So home defense though, or defense of your business, your property, whatever, I think 45 is the way to go. If you're talking about pistols, the other honorable mention is a 357 Magnum, which is also, when it comes to wheel guns, revolver is my personal favorite when it comes to revolvers. But otherwise, as a general rule, duty gun, home defense gun, 45 ACP. I have a 1911. It's not shown here. I'm just going to talk about these two for right now, just to keep it simple. This is the Glock 21 SF. This is the Sig Sauer P220. Both have rails. Both have been used and are still being currently used in many countries all around the world, in police departments, law enforcement, private security, contract security, military, Secret Service, different things like that. I think even at one time the FBI was using one of these guns as a duty gun, but now I think the FBI goes with I think they still go with Glock, but in the 9mm. I think they carry Glock 17s or Glock 19s. I'm not sure. You'd have to check on that. I know LAPD does issue their troops, their officers, Glock, I think Glock 17s out of the academy, the full-size Glock. They used to be Glock 22s, which was 40 caliber. Things change. You have to stay current on that. That's up to you to do the research. I'm not going to be a super expert or claim to be a super expert on what LAPD does and doesn't do, and what FBI does and doesn't do. In my 21 years of service in the Marine Corps, I shot 9mm and 45. When I came into the Marine Corps, the 1911 was still around, so in boot camp we did a FAM fire. To get familiar with the pistol, we shot the 45. I think the recruits, we got 10 rounds, but I bought my own 1911 later. I fell in love with the 1911. I was 18 years old. Boom. 45 ACP is just, to me, the coolest cartridge. for pistols. Now, home defense, again, you could use the ball round as a home defender, and more than likely, it's effective. It's very effective, but it can sometimes over penetrate. Same with the 9mm. If it's a ball round, it can go through your target, and then who knows where it's going to go after that. So that's what I'm saying when I say over penetrate. I advocate something like this, which is a hollow point. This is a Hornady. You can see that little eraser tip on there. That's basically to defeat clothing and give it even expansion, and it hopefully will stay within the cavity of the threat. Here's another hollow point that I advocate. This one is I believe it's a Remington. I have so many different kinds. I buy different kinds of ammunition and shoot them all to see how they affect on the target. You know, I shoot at cardboard, I shoot at ballistic gel, I'll shoot at wood, 2x4s, drywall, just to get an idea of what it does when it impacts materials or different kinds of targets, different kinds of materials, so you can see, you know, what ammo works best for you in your particular sidearm. So my bullet launchers here, they both perform well. They're both accurate. The Glock 21, this is the 3rd generation Glock 21 SF. SF meaning short frame, so it's been shortened by 1/8 of an inch from here to here, not this way, but this way. It fits my hand well. I have large hands as hands go. It's not that I have huge meat hooks, it's just that if I were to put on a glove, it would say, the size would say large. So it fits my hand well. I put on aftermarket sights, which are Trigicon. These are tritium night sights. They are expected to glow for about, I think, 10 to 12 years, but they are a lifetime guarantee, so send them in to Trigicon and they'll take care of you, I guess, if you have any issues. But I put those on myself. Other than that, that's the only upgrade I did to this gun. This is completely from the factory, except for those night sights. I've had this gun for about 7 or 8 years, no problems with it. It's very accurate. I shoot it well. As you'll see, there's like a light coat of oil on there. I take care of my guns as best as I can. I just shot it recently, so that's why you'll see the oil. And same thing with this one. I shot it recently, and it comes, the Sig Sauer P220 comes with its proprietary Sig Light night sights from the factory. Same thing, about 12 years of glow time. And I guess if you have an issue, you send your gun into Sig, and hopefully they'll replace those sights for you if they do decide to go dim on you. Because I do believe the Sig and Glock have really good warranties on their sidearms. So anyways, again, they're both 45 ACP. I shoot them both well. For home defense, I prefer hollow points. Target shooting, I'll use ball ammo all day long. These are the Sig Sauer mags. They hold 8 plus 1, so 9. And then these are the Glock mags. They hold 10 plus 1. I'm in California. That's not a big problem for me to have a 10-round 45 ACP mag, by the way. A lot of people complain about that. I don't. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. I don't like California gun laws, but having 10 plus 1 in a 45, that's a lot of firepower for a home defender, and you have, you know, backup mags and stuff like that. I have more than just these 2 mags. I have actually 4 of these mags. For this, I do need to buy some more. I only have 2 of these. It came with 2 when I bought the gun. Price difference for these 2 pistols. This one was, I think, roughly $600, $619, I believe it was, retail. This was like $975 or $980. So at the end of the day, with Dro's tax, all that, this was, you're talking $1,000, about $700. You know, when all is said and done, so you're talking just with these 2 here is $1,700 plus ammo. So it's an investment. But again, 45 ACP is my favorite caliber. If you like 9mm, that's on you. If you like 357 Magnum, I love that too. That's a great cartridge. Whatever you shoot well, practice with it, and train with it, and take as many pistol courses as you can afford, and get out there on the range and shoot as many rounds as you can. I just wanted to give you the lowdown that I think 45 ACP is a really good home defense round, a really good duty carry round for military, law enforcement, and security. Now, as far as quality of the actual brand or or pistol that you choose to buy, you can't go wrong with Glock or SIG. Whether it's 9mm, or whether it's 40 caliber, whether it's 45, whatever, 357 SIG, Glock and SIG are two of the premier guns out there on the market for military, law enforcement, and home defense. You will be well served with these. They're reliable, they're accurate, and they're durable. They'll last you your lifetime, and you'll pass them on to your kids more than likely. So anyways, that's enough about the branding. I'm not here to, pump up Glock or pump up SIG. I just bought these because I like them. You buy whatever you think you want to get. If you like M&P, if you like Beretta, go ahead, have at it. I also want to just honorable mention the 22 long rifle in the role of home defense. This is a Ruger 1022. This is another good option if you don't have this gun right here. This rifle cost about $220, brand new, and then I bought a $40 Simmons scope to slap on there. But man, this thing can travel well past 200 meters accurately, with very good accuracy. Actually, I've shot this thing extremely accurately. This is a 10-round magazine. It's just a regular standard CCI 22 long rifle, lead round nose. It's 1,070 feet per second, so it's a supersonic 40 grain bullet. It's target ammo, but it works. It gets the job done. But if you can only afford to get something like this to defend your home, do so. That's for, like, I'd say, like a 12-year-old son or daughter that you have, or even your wife or your grandmother or somebody like that. They can use this to defend their home. Or there's 22 caliber pistols, or 12 gauge shotgun. Talk about honorable mention. This will put somebody down. This is a high brass. This is just a high brass game load. Number 4 buck is probably your better option, but because there's a lot of little pellets in here. But hey, this will tear somebody up. I wouldn't want to get hit by this. That high brass gives it more power, so it's kind of like a magnum effect. Or you can use double-aught buck. Again, it's up to you. Do the research. Find out how double-aught buck impacts on drywall. What does it do to refrigerators? What does it do to windows? Like, will it over penetrate and go outside? Find that out. Look on YouTube. Do your own research. Take it out to the range. Shoot some plywood. Shoot some 2x4s. Shoot an old beat up stove. Shoot an old beat up refrigerator. Videotape it. Put it on YouTube. I'll watch it. I lubricate my guns with COP. Break Free. That's the brand, Break Free. Cleaner, lubricant, protective, preservative. That's COP. That's what that stands for. But Break Free is the brand. Meantime, this stuff right here is excellent. It breaks the carbon down on your weapon, and it loosens up all that gunk that gets on there after you fire your weapon at the range. And then you leave a light coat after you wipe it down. You leave a light coat of this on there, and it preserves it and keeps it lubricated for the future. And in a nutshell, this is all my home defense stuff right here. But again, my go-to sidearms are any one of these two. You keep one in one room and one in the other room. And I recommend that you get a good gun safe, like a stack-on. And then you have your digital coding system here to open it. Like beep 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 beep. I'm not going to show you the code, but and you put it in there, close it, keep your spare mag in there. One in the well, and it's hot. Boom. It just reset because I only hit one button. And I got some spare rounds in there. So basically, home defense, 45 ACP. I advocate it. If you have a 9mm, good for you. I recommend 45 ACP, but I also recommend training with whatever you do get and getting very proficient. I also advocate maintaining your weapons. After you shoot them, clean them, and leave a light coat on them so that they're ready to go. You take care of your gear, it'll take care of you. And that's all I got. Staff Sergeant Calhoun, 0811, out.